Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Shrikant and welcome to AWS Lambda tutorial series part 1. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to create a Lambda function from the AWS console. So for that, you need to have an AWS account. If you don't have an AWS account, you can just create an AWS account. I have already created my AWS account. I'm just going to sign in from here. So as I have already given my credentials, it's already opened console home. So you can just you can just search with Lambda from the search bar here. So you can see the Lambda function, Lambda service that is available here. You can just go and click on that. As I've already created Lambda functions, you can see the list of Lambda functions that I have created. So from the functions tab, you can see the create function. If you want to create a new Lambda function, you can go and click the create function. You can see at the right top corner. So you can just click on this create function. So there are three ways that you can create a Lambda function. One is author from scratch. That means you are going to build your Lambda function from the scratch. And the other one is you use a blueprint. That is, there are some templates available. So you can use those templates from this part, use a blueprint and the container image. So you might be having some code that is already built in container image. So you can use that container image URL and you can create a Lambda function. So the other two parts, I will be focusing on other two parts in further videos. So for now, I'm only focusing on this particular part, other from scratch. So the next is basic information that you are going to give function name. So function name, according to your requirement, you can give any name. So if you go to any organization, right? So you'll be following some naming convention. According to your project, you're going to give some naming convention and follow the naming convention and give the names. So for now, I'm going to give some name for encode data. First Lambda function. So this is the name I'm going to give, and this is the runtime. So according to your language background, you're going to use this. For example, if you're working on .NET, you're going to use .NET. For example, if you're working on Java, you're going to give this Java. So I'm much more comfortable with Python, right? So I'm going to give this Python 3.12. So my recommendation is to use only the latest versions of any language. So there are other language versions are also available like Python 3.10, 11, 8, 9 is also available. So according to your requirement, there might be chances that you are going to use older versions also. According to your requirement, you are going to use that. My recommendation is to use only the latest version of the any language. Like I'm much more comfortable with Python 3.12, so I'm going to use this. And the architecture, you can give any architecture, there's no issue. And this execution role is very important. Execution role, if you don't give any execution roles, it will create automatically a Lambda role, an execution role, IAM role. So that will have a basic Lambda permissions. Or else, if you want any specific permissions that you want to give, you can create a IAM role from the IAM services. So you can see if you search IAM from the search bar, you can see the IAM service available and the roles available. So from this part, you can create a role and you can give the proper permissions. So those, if you want to access any service from this, any other service from this Lambda, so you are going to give the permissions to that particular role. So that particular role can access the services, the permissions that you have given. So basically, so from this Lambda, you're going to access other services by using this execution role. So this is the importance of execution role. If you have, as I have already have, I've created one Lambda role. So I'm going to give this project Lambda dev role. So if you haven't created any Lambda role, you can just create a new Lambda with basic Lambda permissions. It will be automatically created. And advanced settings, you can ignore all these advanced settings. but I'm going to explain these two very important advanced settings: enable tags and enable VPC. So these are optional. If you, even if you don't give these advanced settings, you will be able to create a function. But I will explain the importance of this enable tags and enable VPC. So enable tags, basically, if you have if you have given these tags, right, so you will be able to search and filter your services very easily, your resources very easily. And if you enable these tags, right, so you'll be able to track your AWS costs and enforce attribute based access control. You can see the definition over here, how, what is the purpose of this enable tags. You can use the tags to search and filter your resources, track your AWS costs, and enforce attribute based control. That means with these tags you can also control access. So so that is very important. So, and enable VPC. Enable VPC means, like, if you have any VPC created and any other service that is available in that VPC, right? So if you want to access that particular VPC, and that particular VPC that is available in this VPC, so you can give this VPC. For example, I'm giving this VPC. For example, I have a service available in this VPC, and I'm not going. I cannot access directly without giving this VPC details. So if you have that service available in this VP, should give this VPC and access the particular service. So for now, I'm not giving any tags or VPC. So I'm just going to create a Lambda function with this name. So my Lambda function is created. So you can see the code. There's a small template available here. So you can see the code there. Let's wait for, yeah. So I have created this Lambda function. You can see the Lambda function py has been created. Now you can write any code that you want. You can create some, you can also write modular programming, whatever the applications that you want to develop, you can develop from here. So this is the code part. There are other tabs are also available. So I will be explaining all these tabs in further videos. If you come to the code properties, right, so the package size, I mean, how much code you have written, entire package that you have developed, so that will be showing here. And there is a hash code, that is, I'll be going to explain this for their videos. And this, you can see the last modifier, how much time you have created, and this runtimes, right? So as I've already used this Python 3.12, you can see that what runtime I've used. If you want, you can edit as well. So you can edit as well. If you want to use other versions of Python, you can just switch to other versions and save it, right? And yeah, the handler, right? So handler is very important. For example, you can see the function that is created here is the Lambda handler, right? And the function, the Python file that is created is lambda function.py. So the Lambda handler is, that is given here. It is. So for example, if you have written some more some other function, for example, if you have written some other function which is called lambda start, and you want to start this particular Python file from here, you're going to edit this, and instead of this lambda handler, you're going to give lambda start, I guess. So this is basically where you want to start it from, where you want the function, where you want the lambda function to be started. That is the handler, right? And the layers is basically this is kind of like packages, installation of packages. For example, there are a lot of built-in functions available, built-in packages available in this lambda function already. But if you don't have any built-in built-in packages or not available, you have to explicitly add into the layers. So I'll be explaining this particular part in the further videos. So this is all about how you can create a lambda function. So you can test it from here I'm going to test as well. So just right here, print, this is my first Lambda function, and deploy means save it and test it. If you trigger this test, right, so it will execute. So I will explain all this information later, you can ignore for now. You just invoke. So I am seeing some errors. Let's see what is that error. Line number 12, Lambda function is expected. So I'm going to remove all this. Deploy. Now test. So the Lambda function is successfully executed. You can see the status succeeded, and the memory used is 32 MB. So you can also see the print that you have written. This is my first Lambda function. So this is successfully executed. So now you have learned how to create a Lambda function from the AWS console. In further videos, I'm going to explain all these features, and also how we can create a Lambda function from the local IDE tools. So stay tuned for the other videos as well. So hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like this video and share to somebody who is learning this Lambda function. And also, if you have any questions, you can comment. You can ask in comments. So I'll be able to answer your questions. Thanks for the thanks for watching this video, and goodbye. Thank you.